on Tuesday, I'm sorry, was it Thursday, right? The 4th of July?
Yeah, the 4th of July.
We had Chris Kehler, and he was episode number 124.
Mm-hmm.
Man, was that interesting. It was an extended special for all you listeners. It was an hour and 50 minutes, I think we went.
I think that's right, because he was backed by popular demand. I mean, people really want to know what's going on with this guy and his work. And
yeah, he was by far he caused the most stir in our community. We received the most emails from him, the most reaction, the most plays, and
the most questions.
The most questions. And, maybe it's because people are waking up. I don't know. I mean, his stuff, I was originally introduced to him from someone, I think just one of our fans on Facebook, and they said, hey, have you interviewed Chris Kehler yet? And I don't know who he is.
Did that person go to him? Like, is it somebody he knows?
I don't know. I don't know if it's someone Chris knows or if it's like a fan, just a fan of us. I think they're just a fan of us.
Wow.
And maybe he went to Chris at one point or knows of Chris and somehow and said, hey, have you interviewed Chris Kehler yet? I'd love to hear him on your show. And this was just out of the blue.
So you contacted Chris, and that's how it happened?
Yeah, I looked at his website. I watched a few of his YouTube videos, and I thought, this guy is just strange enough that we need to have him on our show. He's just weird enough that I think he'd be a perfect fit for us,
Yeah, he is. He's perfect, because I feel like, some of this might weird people out. I mean, it's all our own journey to kind of go down to figure out what we're comfortable with at what time or in life, or you're not. But I'm just finding it fascinating. I'm finding it a lot of fun, and I'm just finding it very eye-opening. And I feel like all the pieces are coming together. Like, I've read some of Dr. Emoto's water stuff. I've seen the documentaries on quantum energy. It's like, it's kind of all just like coming together in a way that I think Chris puts a really interesting spin on it, and he's actually utilizing it in practical ways. Is that the right word, utilize?
Yeah, utilizing all of that, all of his work.
Pretty fascinating.
And the thing that fascinates me too is why are we so close-minded? Just as our culture
totally
kind of goes, is I don't know why we are so close. I suspect there's a lot of reasons. Probably overcalcification of your pineal gland. Could be from fluoridation in the water. Could be the lack of minerals in your food. Could be programming from your parents. Could be programming from the media, your schooling, and the government, and TV shows and commercials and radio. And I guess it makes sense. We live in a fake world. We live in a world that's, Kim Kardashian is like what is really important.
Right. Yahoo front page. Kim Kardashian's baby name, or like, who the heck cares?
No one cares. And so the stuff that he's doing is really kind of like mental jujitsu or mental weightlifting. You know what I mean? Because it's like, it's really stretching your mind.
That's a great way to put that.
And
it is stretching your mind. And I feel like until you experience it a little bit firsthand too, you don't quite, it stretches your mind. But when you actually have that experience with him in a session, it's, even if you don't understand why it works or how it works, it works. And that's what starts to make you interested in the how and the journey and what it means on a personal level. And that's when it gets really fascinating to me. Yeah,
because really, in essence, I'm only speaking in theory myself, because I've never had an experience with him. But you've been working with him, I think, 4 or 5 times now, right?
I think about 5 sessions, yeah.
Yeah.
Man, yeah, and what I tell you, I mean, it's still, you believe it, but it's still unbelievable to you. Some of the things I'm like, I walk into the kitchen and tell you,
yeah.
I
just went to the 15th dimension.
Right, and back. And now I'm making eggs. How was your morning? Great. I just went to the 15th dimension.
How was it? It was good.
I'm a little tired.
Oh, man. But it's so interesting, though. Man, so he was on about the etheric template.
Yeah, that's fascinating stuff.
And it sounds weird, but when you hear it in a example, like how when people get their arm chopped off,
right, and the phantom pains that still happen.
Yeah, I mean, there's something there. I mean, how could that be a real thing?
Right.
I mean,
no one can deny that it happened. I mean, the people it happens to. I mean,
right.
My gosh, it's as real as daylight.
Right. And wow, gosh, I don't even know where to start with all of his stuff. It's just so fascinating.
Yeah, I mean, this could take. I think he needs to be on again if he's interested, because I think there's so much to that we barely scratched the surface of. But I feel like that was a really good interview as far as starting to not only get people open and thinking, but it's answering some questions, and people aren't going to be as treating it like they're scared of it, maybe.
Right.
I think it puts a lot of people, probably, and myself, it just puts you at ease going, this is how big the world, what the universe and what's going on with it, and God and whatever you want to bring into it. And it just takes it takes some mystery out, but then puts more mystery back in. So it's kind of like a rabbit trail.
Yeah, it's interesting too, because in our Western culture, we need to have so much scientific backing behind everything before we believe in anything. I'm surprised that we believe in gravity, you know? So,
well, that's what he was saying too at the beginning of it. He said, we just want answers. Sometimes you why do we have to have answers?
Yeah,
if it works, it works.
If it works, it works. But the cool thing about what he's doing is that it sort of does satisfy the curiosity and perhaps doubt of the Western mind, because his work is based off quantum mechanics. And if you look into how the world works in a quantum level, you'll see that everything what he was talking about is exactly that. And on a scientific level, there could be photons that exist in two places at once. Things can move and travel faster than the speed of light. There's all these different things that happen in the quantum world.
Isn't that what that movie Frequency is all about?
Yeah, subatomic particles and all this wave versus particle phenomenon, and how your consciousness affects experiments. And so all this stuff happens. It's scientific fact. It happens, and it's measurable, and they've done experiments for it. So his work is based on that. So it's kind of like, you know, it at least allows the Western mind to really look back and say, okay, there's some validity to this. And then, you know, if you see him with an open mind and a belief, and then all of a sudden you get results, then it's like, okay, well, now I don't really need the science behind it anymore. I just know this stuff works.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is kind of where I'm at right now.
I was watching you have a session with him the other day. I was on the rebounder, and I was just listening to some stuff, and I was on the jumping up and down. I was watching you sway back and forth. You know?
It's so weird.
What were you doing?
I was.
What are you doing out there on the 15th dimension when I'm not with you?
I can't even tell you, because I was just enjoying the ride.
Flying through space.
It was pretty fast. It was cool to probably watch from a onlooker perspective. Yeah,
I was just watching you, and you're doing the standing thing.
He was clearing out some negative energy at the time.
And I have my zapper on, and I've got the negative energy ring underneath the water I'm drinking.
That thing was fascinating, as I said on that show, what that did for me a couple days ago with my pain I was having from some cramping from an enema I attempted, which I'll do again. I just think it was a first experience that was drawing a lot of toxins out. But immediately, I mean, within minutes of putting that thing, I mean, you saw me, I was doubled over, I'm going to go lay in bed, and then 10 minutes later, I'm out and about walking around the house.
Yeah, you're doing jumping jacks and cartwheels.
I wouldn't go that far. If I can do that, then I got some major energy that should be channeled properly.
Yeah, no, so you held it over your abdomen? Is that
I put it right on my skin. I don't know if that's what I was supposed to do, but I just kind of did it in the places that were hurting. And then, as he told me, you put it on the ground, and you step over it. You just kind of like put your body over it so it aligns with your spine. So you put your legs on both sides of it and just stand there. And he said as you do it more and more, the energy that you're getting from this thing or that is taking out, I'm not sure what, but it's you'll start feeling different, and you'll know when it's, you know, he said it'll become more instantaneous when you do it, and you won't need to stand over it so long. But he said you'll definitely know when your body has dealt with that energy. So
wow. And you know, I thought it was interesting that when I asked him if he did anything like qigong or the 5 rites or anything, that he said he didn't. And I thought that was interesting, because it was my impression that those arts help restore the body of energy, and I would imagine his work would be very energy it would deplete his energy. And so I thought, you know, perhaps maybe he does meditation or something, or maybe what he said, how he feels like his work is enough right now. Maybe he's getting everything he needs just on the energetic level, that he sounds like he doesn't need any energy to deal with his energy loss. Or maybe he's not losing energy because he's protected. Like maybe he's talking about that bubble being around him. That's true.
With like what do you say? You can envision yourself in a bubble with mirrors on the outside.
With mirrors on the outside.
That are just deflecting any negative stuff.
That's a great way to kind of go through life and just kind of imagine yourself that way, because
I resonated with that. Like,
because you can kind of protect everything that's inside of that bubble, like it's your own little day spa inside there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then anything on the outside of that, you just don't let anything negative in.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, that's a good way of looking at it.
I thought that painted a really great picture of what we're attempting to do, you know, and how we should be attempting to live.
Yeah.
Because I know I mean, everyone's guilty of just letting that stuff just bombard you. And that becomes the problem. I think that's what's caused, if not all, a lot of my health problems.
Negative energy at the salon, right?
Sure. I mean, 15 years of this almost, of just being bogged down by one negativity, usually after another, for hours a day for this many years. And, you know, besides the chemicals and things that are being thrown at me. And
well, not only just the negative energy, but then also, or the negative people that are overtly negative in their outlook on life, but then there's the stories, because you become a counselor at that salon. And then you hear stories of so-and-so passed away, then you got to share in their grief. And
oh, yeah. I'm crying, they're crying. And it's not like I don't care. I mean, that's a whole other... I mean, I care deeply about people, and that's why I believe I carry it so much home with me. I can't separate that sometimes. I feel like I put myself so deeply into other people's realms and shoes and things.
Right. You don't turn it off.
I can't turn it off. And I mean, I can, but I'm learning how that's probably adversely affected my health because of how deep I go into those. Yeah. And how I don't have my own outlet usually. I mean, I'm not into meditate. You know, I haven't been into meditating. I don't see my own counselor, you know, that kind of thing.
Right,
working with Chris and just seeing the effects of, you know, a negative energy tool, a little ring that's so easy just to use in your everyday life. Maybe it's just because I believe in it that it's neutralizing my negative energy. I have no idea, but I do believe it works. And
so you've gotten some pretty good results working with him.
I've gotten some great results. I wasn't a skeptic going into it, but I was very open, but from what I've seen in my own life, I mean, I'm definitely, I keep talking to the people that I know won't be freaked out by it.
Yeah,
you know,
like
I share with them. Like, well, yeah, pretty much. No, and some good friends and things like that. But, yeah, in general, I mean, people are probably going to think you're a little weird if you try to bring this stuff up, which I don't really care at this point.
Yeah.
If it's helping, it's helping. So.
Well, you're an actor for life.
You are an actor for life. It's true. Once you go down this path, you
have to be careful who you share what with, right?
Yeah, it's too much for people.
Some people, yeah.
Baby steps.
So if you're interested in that episode, that was episode 124 with Chris Kehler. It was about an hour and 50 minutes. And, you know, I think it's really good because, you know, it's supporting the body on a level that's deeper than nutrition. Because, you know, nutrition itself can have a tremendous impact on your healing. But then if you take nutrition and you add these tools to it, you're just stacking the odds. Yeah, you're stacking the odds in your favor, and you're giving your body the best chance to heal. You know?
I completely agree.
Yeah, Chris Kehler, I think he's great.
Chris Kehler, and I just want to thank him again just for taking that 2 hours. That was amazing, just awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it was our holiday, not his. You know,
he's wasting our holiday.
It was our Interdependence Day, not his.
Our Interdependence Day. So thank you, Chris, again.
Yeah, that was episode 124 if you're interested in our show with Chris Kehler.